All right, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another video of Full Speed Impulse, and today we're doing videos on our YFZ450. We got a new exhaust coming on this thing. We got our Dunes trip tomorrow. We're waiting for this exhaust to come in. Right now we got a Dasa pipe on this, but we couldn't get a spark arrestor in time, and the pipe's really old and it's been welded back together, and it's time for a new pipe. We love our Curtis Sparks pipes. They're always good to us. They always sound so good, and we don't have any complaints on the Dasa pipe. That's always been good to us, sounds good, and has good looks to it. But we love those Curtis Sparks pipes. We're going to give you guys a fire up on the Dasa pipe. Then we're going to take that pipe off, and then we're going to show you the Curtis Sparks pipe. Just want to do a quick shout out to Vicky at Curtis Sparks. She has been more than helpful. The customer service there is amazing. I couldn't imagine a company being this helpful and trying to get the exhaust to us in time. Not even their fault. We put the order in within a couple days. They sent it out. We did 2-day shipping, and UPS has been giving us, let's just say, a hard time. She's been on the phone with them countless times saying, hey, this guy needs the exhaust by Wednesday or he's not going to be able to make his trip. So she's been just awesome. Okay, guys, they have been more than helpful. She is bending over backwards, trying to help us out, and I greatly appreciate it. So I just want to put a shout out. Just picking what kind of company you want to work with, just that speaks miles right there, guys. That's just awesome. So let's get this exhaust off. So when that exhaust comes in, we can bolt that thing on. We're going to hope that our jetting is at least close enough that we can run this thing, or that's going to cause another set of issues. But here we go. All right, you guys know the deal. Here's our YFZ450. Going to give you guys a fast rundown if you don't know anything about it yet. We have a stroker crank in this with a big bore piston. We have our head ported. We have a cardboard out, the 42 mil, I believe. It's been a long time. I can't quite remember. Have the aftermarket air intake here with the no air box. TBS delete on this. We also have a GYTR rev box. Obviously, you know, we have exhaust, and we're going to have the new exhaust coming for this thing. Off the top of my head, that's what we got for mods. Quad's all modded out. It's a 500cc with the stroker and the big bore, and it's fresh, just done, and she runs great, guys. So we're gonna give it a quick fire up here. Gotta let it warm up. We'll give you guys a couple revs. Oh yeah. Oh, and it's got hot cams in it. So she's definitely tough with that pipe. She definitely sounds good, but the packing on that pipe's, we've taken the cap off. The packing's not the best. It's in there, but it's not wrapped tight around the baffle. We tried taking our end cap off, but the Dasa wants a special spark arrestor. What's nice about Curtis Sparks exhaust is that you can actually put universal spark arrestors in there in a pinch if you can't get to the Curtis Sparks spark arrestors in time. Dasa, you're really stuck with them, which ended up being $60. It's $30 to spark arrestor, but $30 to get it shipped, which was kind of spicy. So now we gotta let this thing cool down. We're gonna take that pipe off and all that, and we're gonna get at it. Guys, for us, it was super easy. We had two 13 mil bolts back there. These were aftermarket bolts, so they could be maybe a different size socket for you guys. Up here, though, should be the same. Those are 12 mil nuts. Those are the original, so I shouldn't see that being different for you guys. She is still hot, but we were able to slip that off, and now we just gotta wait for that to cool down so we can take the rest of those nuts off and pull our header pipe off, and then pretty easy, guys. But it's gonna come down to jetting, so hopefully it's not too much different. So this will be a fresh exhaust, and this is the race core, which is the quieter one. It comes out at 102 decibels, while I believe their big bore one is 110 decibels. The difference for us, guys, is because the sand dunes is a state property, they require a spark arrestor at this place. With the Dasa here being super free flowing, I don't even know if this pipe's so old. I think it'd be considered the classic, so I don't know what the problem is with this one, but every time we romp on that gas, blows that spark arrestor out. Had the same problem when we ran the big bore Curtis Sparks on our older YFZ. As soon as we hit that gas, she'd shoot out. And they do recommend, they do tell you when you're purchasing this stuff that the big bore is not recommended, even though you can fit a spark arrest in there. Dilutes or sacrifice or whatever you want to say is not good for the spark arrestor. You can get it in there, but pretty much it's saying it's going to damage it quicker and they just don't last. And for us, that's a no bueno situation. We need it to be able to last in case the DNR rolls up on us, or we're just not popping $30 spark arresters as soon as we get out there. So that being said, going with the race one is going to allow the spark arrestor to last. We actually have the Curtis Sparks race on the LTR, and it has lasted and it's been great out in the dunes for us. Still sounds good. It's got a good tone to it. I give you guys fire up on the LTR too. But even though we might sacrifice maybe a little bit of flow, and I don't know if we're going to sacrifice any power. I guess with this quad being completely built like it is, we might lose a little bit of power, but on more of a standard. But if you have a standard bore or light mods and all that, I wouldn't even worry about it, guys. You might get a little bit more power or better bottom end feel out of something that has a little bit more restriction than something that's a little bit more too free flowing, not giving you enough back pressure. All right, quick fire up. And you guys know, like, I don't know what it is, but between Honda, Suzuki's, Yamahas, they all sound a little different. I never heard a really good deep tone on an LTR. Woo! Gotta love that fuel injector. Still sounding good though. Good sounding pipe. Looks good. We're gonna talk about looks here in a second. Look at that pipe. Beautiful. All right, I don't know what's going on with our camera. It goes from dim to the bright, all that stuff, whatever. But the looks between a Dasa and Curtis Sparks, when I was reading the forums, people were beating up Curtis Sparks, not in necessarily a negative way, but it was saying it was a little bit more of a retro, standard, antique-ish kind of, it's not the right words, but they're saying the Dasa has a more modern look to it. But let's keep this in mind, guys. Let's just think about this for a second. What year is your quad? Chances are, half the people watching this video, your quad's an antique. I hate to tell you, but the thing's probably 20 years old, 13 years old, 15 years old. Quads have not progressed in the same way dirt bikes have, and that just is what it is. And in my opinion, the Curtis Sparks is just such a good, old school, standard look. It's never going to get old. It's never going to go out of style. I just think it's got such a good look to it. And not that you probably really care about your buddy behind you, but the nice thing about the Curtis Sparks is it actually has a turn down on the exhaust, so it points the exhaust more towards the ground and kind of keeps that exhaust from hitting your buddy in the face. Like I said, you probably don't care too much about that. But it also kind of looks kind of cool too when you're hitting the gas and romping on it. It's blowing dirt all over the place and all that because turn down pipes putting all that exhaust, and it just looks tough. So that's what my opinion on the Curtis Sparks exhaust. Like I said, I'm a little biased because I just love them. But, you know, to each their own. I'm not saying anything bad about Dasa. They're both, if you look them up for horsepower gains and all that, they are neck and neck. They really are. So I do think it's going to come down to preference. Yes, the Dasa, you do have a little bit more options in different colors and all that stuff. But Curtis Sparks, that nice stainless steel, shined all up, looking good. I don't know, guys. Just something about it. But all we can do is wait now, guys. We're just waiting on that UPS driver. Show up. Where you at, guy? Come on. All right, guys. Exhaust is here. Let's check it out. Oh, yeah. This pipe. Looking good. Woo! All right, guys, there we go. Got our exhaust. Ooh, got a free t-shirt. Yeah, buddy. And there's our spark arrestor. Let's get it on. All right, so we got our header on there. Got our two nuts on. Don't tighten those down, but make sure it's fitted in there good. And you're not going to want to tighten anything up until you get everything on here. That way you can kind of align it and everything's good. If you were to tighten this down right now, it might pinch the header maybe in a direction. It's just slightly awkward for the muffler. So that's why we're going to get the muffler on now. And then we'll tighten everything down. All right, so we got the pipe on. She is looking Super good, guys. Whew! Look at that. That was meant to be right there. That looks so good. No spark arrestor in yet, because I want it to be a fair comparison with the Dasa. Comes in here, guys. Clean. Don't worry about that. Other exhaust came just that close too. Like I said, get everything mocked up. Tighten these bolts first. So that way you can kind of like swivel and position and make sure it's set in there good. And tighten a little bit of this, and then kind of go back and forth tightening your nuts here. And other than that, guys, we're ready for a fire up. So let's get this thing fired up. And just let you guys know, we did Loctite those nuts right there because all the vibration on this quad, they could come out. Fire up time. Woo! Sounds good. Way deeper of a tone. Gotta let her warm up. Whew. Apparently I gotta adjust my idle up just a little bit. All right, guys, fire up with the spark arrestor. Oh yeah. Sounding good. Alright guys, so that is the video on the Curtis Sparks versus the Dasa exhaust. And tell you what, they're both great exhausts. It all comes down to preference. But I do like my Curtis Sparks. And it's nice they do make a quiet tip on here. If that is a little bit too loud for you, that will quieten it down. I actually have never ran one before, but I was kind of thinking about putting one on the LTR for her doing more of woods and trail riding and all that. Kind of tone her down a little bit. So that's all I got for you guys for this video here. We're wrapping up, getting going. So I appreciate you. And until next time, we'll see you later.